What is up, everybody? Star Wars Dad back for another video. Today we're going to be looking at the new Anakin Skywalker leader paired with Blue. So this is a deck I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's just like a Force-centered deck, and I've been excited about set 3 since I heard about it, just so we could finally start using these Force cards. And I mean, that last video I did on Maul, I definitely think there is a potential for a Force villain deck there. I just need to work on that one a little bit more. But once I saw this leader, I wanted to work on it, and I felt like Blue was the right base to pair this with, just because of the, to benefit from its Anakin's ability, you're going to be damaging yourself, so you want to have like subtle life gain built in. And so what I started to figure out as I was testing around with this is like a lot of these 2-drops that are like that have restore 1 and restore 2 that have like 2 power, they get a lot better with Anakin, because essentially I just look at all of them now, like a restored arc, for example, right? I look at that as a 4/3. At any given time, I can use Anakin's ability, swing in for 4 damage and take out a space unit, do 2 damage to my base and heal 1. So I'm only doing 1 damage to my base to swing at another unit to take it out. And what you want to do in this deck early on is definitely just slow down aggressive decks. And it's also a good way to deal with Sentinels. So Guardian of the Whills gets a lot better. Basically, Guardian of the Whills is a 2-drop that is basically a 4/2 that activates your Force stuff immediately on turn 2, whether you play it on turn 1 or turn 2. So if you play it on turn 1, you can immediately play Jedi Lightsaber for 2 resources and play Force Throw. So you have a 5/5 that can take out something and play a Force Throw to take out something else. So, and if they swing in or they have the initiative and are able to kill it before you're able to do that, it's not the end of the world. They're not attacking your base. So in my opinion, that's a win. But the ability to for example, you play that Guardian of the Whills, you put a Jedi Lightsaber on it, and then say you Force Throw something else to kill it, and they play another ground unit. Let's say it has... I mean, the thing is with Jedi Lightsaber, everything gets weaker, so it's already incredible. But let's say it'd have to... I mean, for a 5/5 with Jedi Lightsaber to not be able to kill it, it'd have to have 8 health, which is crazy. So anything with 7 health or less is going to be killed by a Guardian with a Jedi Lightsaber, because it's going to lower the HP by 2 when it swings into it. But it kind of goes with the theme of what you're doing in this deck, which is pumping up units to take out threats. So I mean, you can swing in for as much as 7 damage on turn 2 into a unit at least. Now, of course, it doesn't have Overwhelm, and maybe there'll be some more Overwhelm units that are released. There is one, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I'll post it in here. But I just kind of wanted to focus more on the restore, just to be consistent and consistently healing. Kuiil has been awesome in here, just to be able to draw cards. Also, because it trades favorably, right? It has 3 HP. So it can survive even after swinging in for 4 damage while you draw a card, because most of the cards in the deck are blue, and it stays alive, and you gain back one of those damages that you put in. So you're drawing a card, killing a thing, and surviving. So it just has so much value. Like these smaller units. Soldier of the 501st is another example. It has raid 1, so it's already a 2/3 when it's attacking, but with Anakin it becomes a 4/3. Another good example of it can still survive sometimes if you're hitting something like a Sabine or a Pathfinder or something that only has 2 power when it's not attacking. Anakin's Interceptor is really, really sweet in here as well. So already you're able to do the Anakin ability on turn 2 and swing in for 4 damage. When you have 15 damage on your base, you can swing into their base for 4 damage, or you can swing into one of their units for 6 damage, just for 2 resources. So that's really incredible in here. Yoda gets a lot better because basically it's a 4/4 with Restore 2. Obviously, it has all the Force energy with the Jedi lightsaber and the Force throw early on. Also, Force is with me is just really good for both Guardian, Yoda, Kanan, and Anakin the leader. Force is with me has been incredible in here. For one, it puts a shield on the Force unit so they can kill a thing and still get the experience. But it's also just a really good card to close the game out because typically you're trying to win by the Anakin flip turn. So when you flip Anakin, a lot of times Anakin's at least a 6/7, a lot of times it's a 7/7. But you feel okay in here because of all the subtle restore that you have. And then Force is with me, you're swinging in, if it's a 7/7, you're swinging in for 9 damage to their base. So if you've been attacking in subtly throughout the game, then it's pretty easy to close the game out, either on the flip turn or the turn after. The Jedi lightsaber, of course, really feels great in here. I did try the daughter card, the new card that was just released. That's a Force unit. It's a 4-drop, but I just felt like the Guardian was better because it was cheaper, and then I could activate Force throws sooner to get the double advantage off of that card. A couple open fires just as a way to deal with things, to slow things down. Okay, so then the other kind of way I'm playing this is just to play a bunch of Sentinels. Village Protectors is obviously nice because it's shielded. Of course, if you put a Force is with me on it, it becomes a 4/4 Sentinel with a shield, which is nice. I mean, it's not going to get an additional shield, but it still has the 1 shield. So that is a nice play on curve sometimes. And you want these Sentinels also just to protect Anakin so that Anakin can survive as long as it's out there. And then Captain Typho, which is really cool. So when it's played, you can pick a Sentinel. So it kind of has like the General Riken ability to it, and when you attack, you give a unit Sentinel. It doesn't give anything experience, but it's still extremely valuable because basically either you're giving it Sentinel, or like you could give Poe Dameron, make Poe Dameron your Sentinel for the turn, or make one of your space units a Sentinel if there's space threats. So Captain Typho is really, really sweet. I've really been enjoying that card. And again, it's just another way to protect Anakin early and on curve, or a lot of times you could play Village Protector and Captain Typho on the same turn as Anakin, or one of those Sentinels and a Jedi lightsaber on the Anakin to make it a even bigger unit. So you can make Anakin let's say it's a 6/7, you're making it a 9/10 leader, which is incredible. 3 Kanan, of course, for the life gain and to go with the discard theme, with Force Throw, as well as Pillage and Poe Dameron's discard ability. So in that way, it's similar to Han Blue. The Force is with me again has been really, really sweet in here because pumping up units plus Anakin's ability, so it just kind of sticks with that theme of pumping everything up for like 2 damage, whether it's with Anakin's ability with the Jedi lightsaber pumping you up for 3, or the Force is with me pumping things up for 2. 3 K2SO as the other discard synergy, but also it has Overwhelm, so it's really good against control, but also it's really good Jedi lightsaber target to make it a 7/7 with Overwhelm that also benefits from dying, so just fits in this theme perfectly. Couple Fell the Dragon, I just think that set 3 is really, really going to be a ton of big units, and you just really need to have 3 Fell the Dragon if you're playing blue. Some decks that you're not playing blue, you're still going to want to have 2 to 3 Fell the Dragon just to be able to have some kind of removal answer for some of these big units. 2 Poe Dameron. So Poe Dameron is sweet with the Forces with me to make it at 8/8, so swing it for 10 damage out of nowhere to close the game out. Also, just as a good defender, if you're playing against an aggro deck, to come in and just kind of take out upgrades or take out multiple units. Also, again, you get to swing in for 8 damage with Poe using Anakin's ability. Anakin Skywalker, I think that deck has a home somewhere, but I don't think this is necessarily the home of it in the Anakin Blue version. And maybe that will change. Maybe there'll be more things that are released or spoiled that change my thoughts on that. But I wanted to just have 1 copy in because it's nice to be able to on attack if you have 3 units out, which is pretty easy to do in here with how many cheap units you have to just draw a card. You're already drawing cards with Kuiil, which is kind of doing a lot for you early, especially if you're protecting Kuiil with a Jedi lightsaber or Sentinels. But I just wanted to have one Anakin in here. Just have, diversity with my 5 resource units. 2 Obi-Wan. It's at 2 because we already have 3 Village Protector and 3 Captain Typho. And like I said, Captain Typho is really sweet what you can do. Making K2SO your Sentinel, or Kanan, or Poe, or Anakin your Sentinel, whatever. Or a unit that you've already pumped up, or a unit that has Jedi lightsaber. It's just a really sweet. But Obi-Wan is nice on curve too, just play before you flip Anakin. So again, to stick to that theme of protecting Anakin as best that you can. Also, when it dies, you can put 2 experience onto Anakin. Anakin has Overwhelm. So again, we're just pumping up Anakin. We're pumping up everything. That's the theme in here. 1 Rivals Fall in the main, 1 on the side. And then 3 Luke Skywalker as kind of our top end. So basically, you're closing out the game with Anakin, Poe, K2SO, and Skywalker. But you're also subtly putting damage in with your cheaper units while gaining life to keep pace with the aggressive decks. Kanan gets even better in here because of the Jedi lightsaber, because it becomes a 7/8. And again, it gets better because of Anakin's ability to swing in for 6 damage, which is like the magic amount of HP to take out big units. So just to be able to trade with big units while gaining life. Well, while not losing any life, let's put it that way, because you can gain up to 2 life with Kanan's ability. And the sideboard is still a work in progress. A couple top target, a couple of vigilance for just those more aggressive decks. A 3rd copy of Fel, 2nd copy of Rivals Fall, 2 pillage for those control matchups. Then we're doing 1 copy of the, I can't read it right now. Let me see if I can zoom in for a second. Yeah, I can't read it. But this force unit right here, I can't remember the name of it. Just because, and that's the card I just kind of want to play around with more. It might end up being 1 in the main, and maybe 1 in the side or something just for control matchups. So when they play 2 different things, you get to, as long as you have 3 units out, you can draw 2 cards, which is sweet. And then 1 redemption in the side, just as additional forms of life gain for those more aggressive matchups. But so far in testing, this deck has handled Sabine very well. The Boba matchup felt fine. Boba Green, that is. And then, control, you have the ability to go wide with all these cheaper units. And, you have hand disruption with Force Throw just naturally built in. And you have damage and hand disruption with K2SO. And same thing with Poe. So it just feels good. Anakin is not an easy leader to kill unless you have a Rivals Fall. It's just not easy to kill. It's a very powerful unit when it flips. A lot of times it's like I said, it's either a 6/7 at 10 damage on your base or a 7/7 at 15. Sometimes it's an 8/7 when if an aggressive deck has really pushed your damage output, but then you're pumping it up with Jedi lightsaber and killing a thing and overwhelming in for damage, or going straight to their face with Jedi lightsaber or Forces with Me. The other thing that's great about Forces with Me, of course, is it's an immediate action. So just being able to immediately get that bonus of +2 attack, the experience, and the shield on your Force unit. It definitely feels like this has a lot of potential. I think, again, this is the first iteration, and I'm so far so good. But definitely any cards that you think I'm missing, or any suggestions, or if you've made your own Anakin list and which lists you've had success with and which ones you're still working on, I'd love to hear that kind of stuff. I'm definitely going to show you a few games on Force Table just to kind of show you how the deck works. But again, I think it has a lot of potential, and I'm just excited to have a deck that's more focused on Force-centric units and just the Force synergy with all the, those great cards of Force Throw, Jedi Lightsaber, and the Forces with Me. And then, as always, please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate all the support. And let's get into a few games on Force Table just so I can just kind of show you how this deck works. Alright, so we have Kuiil into Yoda, Jedi Lightsaber, Open Fire. So we're gonna keep this. We're gonna get rid of Rivals Fall and Poe. Kuiil is definitely a good start. Again, we can swing into one of their units on the ground as a 4/3 here, but I'm probably, because I don't want to trade, I want to be able to keep Kuiil available. That's a good card too. I like having the interceptor, but we do have, you know, life gain units are always good against Sabine too. But we're gonna use open fire just to take this out. We could trade with Kuiil, but I would prefer to keep it alive to get card advantage and have a consistent form of life gain. So we lost an Anakin there, that's okay. Okay, we are going to trade with that because it only does 2 damage to us. Here's the Captain Typho. Sabine comes down this turn. I'm trying to think, I might just play Kanan and then suit it up with a Jedi lightsaber. Even if they Dark Saber Sabine, this will be a 7/8, and it'll swing into Sabine, which will have 6 toughness, so it'll hit me for 4 and go down to 6, so it will die. So I think that's the play. So we're gonna I'm gonna keep this just in case we need it. I'm gonna get rid of Yoda, I think, just in case we need something in space. So we're gonna use Anakin's action ability here and kill this Pathfinder. Draw a Guardian, which is nice. We could play Guardian plus the lightsaber, but I think it might just be better. Yeah, because we play, but they could just, yeah. Let's just play Kanan. Okay. They have the Dark Saber, like I said, will be okay. Does not appear like they do. Okay, that's okay. Open fire is good. Now I wish I can play Guardian Jedi lightsaber. Force throw would be really nice right now. I'm gonna hold on to the Guardian in case I need to do some shenanigans. Okay, Jedi lightsaber on Kanan. Okay, so here's an example of what I was talking about. So Kanan will survive, but it's gonna be close. Yeah, we survived though. Okay, well, that's fine. So we'll go ahead and attack him with Kuiil. I mean, to take out a Sabine and a K2SO. And I mean, honestly, it's the right move for them to take out our Kanan, because it's just, once we attack in, like, Sabine has 0 power. So if we attacked into Sabine next turn, it wouldn't even do any damage to us and we would kill it. So let's get the, oh, we drew another Guardian. Let's get a Guardian down though, in case we find another lightsaber, which we did not. Okay. So we're just gonna hold off here. See if we can find a lightsaber or a Force is with me. There's the lightsaber. Okay. Play Captain Typho, I think, is a smart move. Give itself Sentinel. Then we're gonna bring out our boy. Play our Jedi lightsaber. We're just gonna go for face here. Yeah, I think it's worth just overwhelming this and just taking 1 damage and getting in for 5. Okay. Just gonna attack with Kuiil to try to draw some more cards. Alright, I think we've got the game. Yeah. So you kind of get the idea. And I like to just play out my turn when I'm playing against Force Table, just so you can kind of see how dominant that was. But so we had the 10 damage, which is about 10 to 15 is usually the range that aggro gets to us from my testing of Force Table. Obviously this is AI, but still, So that pumps up Anakin by 2 to make it a 6-7, and then we pump it up for 3 more with the lightsaber, and you kind of get the idea. So we're using Kuiil, protecting it if we can, to draw into the cards, get our hand filled with useful tools. Using Guardian to lower our lightsaber cost, as well as using Guardian on turn 1. Also to activate Force Throw early to slow them down. Captain Typho is a way to make anything a Sentinel, so we could have waited, played Luke, then attacked him with this, made Luke our Sentinel for the turn. You know, whatever makes sense. So it's a good example. That's typically how all these games go. It's about that exact same score too, because Anakin swings in for so much. Okay, so we have Guardian or Kuiil here. I like our hand though. We need the Rivals Fall versus them. I think that's important. Lightsaber and Forces with me are good too. I mean, they do play Waylay or No Good to Me Dead, so those are cards you do have to think about. You're going to let Poe go just because we don't have ECL. And then one of these 2 drops, most likely. I don't want to get rid of too many units, though. I mean, if our unit with the Jedi lightsaber is able to be out there when Boba flips, then we can just immediately kill Boba. Alright, let's let Forces with me go. Yep, okay. Well, they made the decision for us because of the Bazine. Well, there's the Force Throw lightsaber. Space units aren't as great against them because of 7th Fleet Defender. Okay. So we can first do this. We could Force Throw, but I don't want to do that at the moment. I'd rather just cause them to have to discard a card and just take no damage. Discarding cards is still good against them regardless. Especially a card like that. That was a good card. Alright. Decisions. Got some good stuff in here. I mean, this is gonna kill Boba. So we don't need this, I guess. Oh, there's that. Okay, so let's play Kanan. Yep. Take 2 damage and take out the Boba. Now, would a real player do that? I don't know. Probably not, but I mean, what are they gonna do? Do we need this still? I don't think so. So we're still gonna just keep using Guardian to take everything out. He had another one. Nice. Okay. Well, there's a Sentinel. Kuiil. It's a way to replenish our hand. We're just gonna go face now and start trying to close this game out. We're at the Anakin flip here. I don't think we need that. I'd rather have the open fire just in case we need it for something. Yeah, so like something like this is what I mean. And you kind of see. So I mean, now obviously they didn't. The Boba flip turn was not ideal for them by any means. But I mean, that just shows you, like, if they don't have an answer for a Jedi lightsaber unit, like a Waylay or a No Good to Me Dead, then we immediately just... And they didn't even get any damage on Anakin. So... Now we have Luke. I don't think we need that at all. There's the Fed's Fire Spray. We could just play Fell the Dragon to take that out. And just win the game. So again, you kind of get the idea. But, you know, it's going to be different. It's a real person. But anytime I'm winning on Force Table like 30 to 10 or less, like less than 10 damage, that means to me that the deck has a lot of potential and has the ability to be very competitive. When the games are like where I can't win, obviously that's not a good sign. If I'm winning 50% of the time, that's not a good sign. And if it doesn't feel like, you know, if I don't have the ability to kick AI's butt, then I'm worried. Because that means when I'm playing against a real person that it's going to be really close to 50-50. And unless all of my other matchups are really strong, then I'd be concerned. And usually I start with Sabine and I start with Boba to test things. Because if I can't beat these two in Force Table, then I'm wasting my time, or I need to make some significant changes to the list. But so far, this has felt really good. Alright, so up against Control, we do not have any turn 1 or even turn 2 play, so this is definitely a mulligan. Okay, that's not bad. I don't want to get rid of Force Throw. It's one of our best weapons against them, especially against Bossk because they draw so many cards. I'll let Fell go. Oof. Pressure is good too, especially going wide. It's just tough. So maybe I just go 1 Force Throw, 1 Pressure. Yeah, because I don't want to get rid of Yoda or K2SO because they give us card advantage. Yeah, especially because of that, right? So the good thing is we can trade with that Pershing, which is sweet. Nice. That's exactly what I was hoping they would get rid of, something like that. Units are wide. The Jedi lightsaber is not going to be as good here because they're going to have answers for our units. Okay, so if he chooses to draw a card with Pershing, he will immediately lose the Pershing. He did not choose to do so, which is interesting. Alright, K2SO is good, so it's just going wide. But I'm gonna get rid of Guardian and just play K2SO here, I think. Okay. We're just gonna kill that. Okay. Takes down Yoda, draw a card. No. Alright, play K2SO. Now remember, we can immediately swing in for 6 damage against Bossk with K2SO, which is really sweet. Double Obi-Wan. I don't know if we need 2 Obi-Wans. So far we have not put any damage on their face, which is not the greatest. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Was not paying attention there. Okay. Another Pershing, okay. So what we're gonna do here is... That's not bad either. Really gonna try to push damage here. So we're gonna play Obi-Wan, take 4, then we're gonna flip Anakin. So we can make... Oh, he put a target on it, okay. Interesting. That he put that there. I do kind of need to get rid of this thing. Need to get rid of this shield, right? What's more important, the card draw or the shield? So let's just get rid of the shield first here, and then just kind of see what he does. Okay, he's killing that. Okay, we hadn't put enough damage on there for that to even matter. We have another Sentinel next turn. Okay, let's take out... Let's just do this so we can keep things alive. Get him for 6. Okay, he put a damage there, which was a mistake. Okay, just attack in. Alright, now we're racing right now against the potential for a board wipe. The good thing is, hand size is not that big. Captain Typho, don't need 2. Jedi lightsaber is good here because we want to pump up Anakin to as much as possible. Okay. You could have a make an opening. So we're going to go there just to attack him with that. To try to get in for some damage. Okay, he takes his damage, draws his card, that's fine. I think now I'm less worried about killing Pershing. I'm just trying to get in for damage. Let's go here so we can maximize the damage output for K2SO. Chilson is a thing. It's at 4 costs. Jedi lightsaber gives us... Now that he only has 3 resources left, so now we can overwhelm and kill that. So we can continue to get in for more damage. Get in for 8, right? Yeah, nice. And we are really close to winning this game. I mean, even if he board wipes us here, like, K2SO is going to kill him. I'm just going to hold on to my hand. No reason to play any more units here. I think we could do like that, just in case we want to go Typho Dameron for some reason. Well, that's not going to do it. AI. And yeah, you just kind of see the power that Anakin can have in this deck. It's just, it can really, really finish the game quickly. So yeah, again, I'm beating them by a lot, over 30, under 10. So it lets me know that this has the potential to do well. And I don't even have my pillages sideboarded in. I do have Force Throw, K2SO, Poe, Anakin going wide. So I already have good things going on. Again, a good boss player is going to be more difficult. But, this, like I said, this plays very similar to Han Blue, so Han Blue has a pretty good matchup against Bossk, in my opinion, as Bossk is my go-to deck right now, Bossk Blue. So it just kind of another good example of how this deck works. I just love being able to play Jedi lightsaber too. Like Fallen lightsaber has been a thing. It's been playable for a while, and in a lot of different decks it's shown up. Jedi lightsaber has been like a card with so much potential, but just not enough force units. And I do think that this card really, really has a good spot in this deck, especially because of how Anakin works. So, and the fact that you can stack them, like you can play multiple Jedi lightsabers on Anakin. So, But yeah, I mean, it feels like it's in a good spot. Again, definitely let me know what your thoughts are, or any cards that you think might be good. Obviously, again, just as with these other videos that I've been doing, any spoilers that immediately need to be added in here, I'm just going to have an updated deck list of where I'm at in the comments anytime I see something that fits one of these newer decks, as we are getting closer to the release date and pre-releases and all that stuff. But it's been a fun one, and I love the Force synergy. I love that these weaker units just become much more relevant. Like being able to swing in for 4 damage with anything in that top row, including Yoda, early on, even Village Protectors. But early on, that's just so valuable at trading and slowing down your opponent, especially if it can survive. But even if it can't, like just to play defense with those units is really awesome. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, y'all have a good one, and peace out.